So
Is
we're
that
live.
considered bribery?
So your coffee prep.
Okay, you're
references
good to go
now
back on here,
official.
so whenever you want to call to order, you're, oh, it came back? Okay, awesome, okay. Okay, good evening. This is the regular meeting of the North Brantford Conservation and Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Agency. This regular meeting of Wednesday, October 27th, 2021 at approximately 6:33 p.m. First thing I'd like to do is call to order and give a roll call of everyone who's here this evening. We have regular members Frank Borgano and Jerry Fishbeck. We have recording secretary Kim Slater, and we have our new town planner Eric Knapp, and who's also wetlands administrator. Welcome.
Yeah.
And so the first thing would be go to number 2 minutes, which would be the meeting of the July 28th, 2021. And I will abstain from those because I was not at that meeting,
So I think it's just, this is what happened the last time, I think, right? It's just Jerry and I, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Can we still?
As long as you have a quorum, you're able to vote on the minutes.
You're
right, I just abstain from voting, but you feel free.
So I make a motion to approve the minutes of July 28th, 2021.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there you go. Minutes accepted. Next one would be the minutes of the meeting of September 22nd, 2021. Any revisions or, so us too? Okay, I read them and I'm fine.
I'm fine.
You okay?
Because just you and I were here.
Yep, so, okay. If you want to make a motion.
So I make a motion to approve the minutes of, meeting minutes of September 22nd, 2021.
And I second. So all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, minutes, okay, no problem. Minutes
Before you
are.
go, I'm gonna have someone sign these just so I can get them back to
Yep.
me. Okay?
I will, I'll get them at the end of the
At
meeting.
the end,
Okay,
that's fine.
Very good.
Won't be long.
Okay, we're moving on to item number 3, public hearing, which is none. So we're going to move to number 4, old business. Item A, cease and desist, 1565 Middletown Avenue for unpermitted work in the Farm River, resulting in 2 rock dams, barriers across portions of the river, and removal of vegetation along the stream bank downstream from the vehicle bridge. Owner 1565 Middletown Avenue, LLC. Applicant Annie Bizzuto. And the matter has been held over pending completion of remediation work by applicant.
You should have received with your packages an email from Brian Golombiewski from DEP indicating that he is satisfied with the work that has been done. On the table here this evening, in case you would like, is an email from the property owner's engineer indicating that he also believes the work is done and is asking that the matter is at this point that the order be lifted. Honestly, if DEP is satisfied with what has been done, I don't know that we have any grounds to do anything more than that. So I think you should be free to lift the order at this point in time.
Okay.
I've seen the property from the road recently. It looked great.
Yep.
Okay.
So how about you feel the same, Frank?
Oh, yeah.
Would someone like to make a motion and please?
You want me to make the motion?
Sure.
Oh, great. So, I make a motion to remove the cease and desist for the property at 1565 Middletown Avenue.
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the cease and desist has been
Yeah.
released, removed. All right. So now we can move on to number 5, new business. Item A, IWWA 2021-12, 78 Clintonville Road, for work to create a footpath trail along with 150 linear feet of wooden boardwalks and 2 informational kiosks for passive recreational use within designated wetlands. Determination of significant activity, owner applicant North Branford Land Conservation Trust Incorporated, David Sargent, agent.
Okay. You should have received those packages. We also have more here if you need to take a look at them. Again, per state statute on wetlands law, we are not able to act on an application on the night it's received. It has to be received, and then we have to wait to see if a petition is going to be filed. I don't think that's the case in this particular instance. The applicant is here to describe it. Your task for this evening is simply to decide whether this is a significant activity that requires a public hearing, or whether this can just go on a public meeting again next month. So with that, I think, again, the agent is here. Just hear what is being proposed generally.
Good evening. Just identify yourself for the record, sir.
Dave
and
Sargent.
proceed.
I'm president of North Brantford Land Conservation Trust. And I'm here to answer any of the questions you guys have.
Okay. Well, we saw the presentation. I think we all saw it online, right? We all read through it. So I guess the
I
first
didn't see
thing.
it online, but I read through it.
Went through, okay. I actually went to the website, yeah, and they had it actually.
I didn't even know that property was there, truthfully.
Yeah.
It's been, we've had it for a while, and it's just been undeveloped, and we've been trying to partner with somebody else that could help us,
Okay.
and Honeywell stepped up, and they gave us some money to make this work, as well as we've got a Boy Scout here, Shane Salami, who's gonna do part of it as an Eagle Scout project.
Oh, because that's happened in the past with some of your,
Yep.
that's great, that's great.
And basically, we're, you know, there's a lot of wetlands on the property, but they're not too wet. It's not, you know, I was out there and actually took a picture standing in the wetlands, and it's, you know, kind of intermittent kind of thing.
It looks like
So-
kind of a wooded upland,
It's-
kind
yeah,
of
and
wetland soil.
Our forester was probably, it was supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it, I think, so, but he actually, historically, he actually surveyed that land years ago, before it was cut and became part of the land trust. So he's intimate with the history of the property, he knows very well how things should go on that property.
Oh, good, so is that what you use as a guide for where you're gonna put your
Absolutely,
kiosk
so-
and your walk?
yeah.
Good, so you know the best location to do all that.
Yeah, and the
there.
trail's not finalized yet, so what you saw in the submission was a, kind of like just a schematic, but it will be a loop, at least one loop. There'll probably be a couple of connecting loops in there at the end of the day, so.
Do you have a guesstimate? I know you just stopped by, I'm just curious for my own personal use, about how long will the trail?
Yeah, I just don't have that, we don't have that number yet.
It's about, what is it, it's
27.
27 acres,
yeah,
so
it's a
if
pretty
you
good
can
site,
imagine what a
pretty big.
loop inside of
Yeah.
27 acres would be, you know, a mile.
I guess about a mile-ish, give or take,
Okay, I was just curious.
And if you put a couple little spurs in there, or short little crossovers, you can make it a, you know. And a lot of this project is, it's in a industrial kind of area with residential.
Right.
And the idea here is to incorporate both of those into this project so that people, both in Honeywell and the ice rink and the neighbors, all have use of this property, which is just basically, beside the fact that it's land trust property, there's also a sewer easement on it. So the town has mows part of it, just to
Oh,
keep the
To
sewer
get access.
clean. So there's sort of access there now, and that's basically the only access without the trail.
And I'm trying to remember the park, because you probably, there's some area set aside for parking, I imagine, right?
So
For people to
the-
access it.
So that's where Honeywell comes in. Honeywell's willing to provide parking, deeded parking, and in order to get from Honeywell to the parcel, we'd have to cross Michael Belfonte's properties, which is the ice rinks, and he's offered us permission to to get a deeded access across his property.
You know,
As
so-
well as build an access route from Honeywell to our property.
It's really nice to see businesses, help come together and help you do this project. Because without
Absolutely.
them, you wouldn't be able to, you'd have some barriers there. So that's.
We need a lot more volunteers in our organization, and it's nice to have a corporate sponsor who, we may end up getting more volunteers from them.
Right.
Because they're actually creating a volunteer day for this
Well, I would
project.
think businesses are always looking for their employees to do things in the community. That would be like a perfect, you could have quite a big crew out there that if they can round some
Absolutely.
people up, that'd be good. No, it sounds like a good project overall. So I think, well, the first thing, let's get the big one off is I'm sorry, you go right ahead.
Quick question, will there be any parking over on the Village Street entrance?
So the parking that's on the Village Street entrance right now, there's a town gate, which will probably allow 3 or 4 cars and some parking on the street. And for now, that won't change. But we do want to put a kiosk there. And theoretically, in the future, we might move the gate and allow for more parking on that side. But we'll see how the Honeywell side works out first. Because it's paved, clean, lighted parking.
Good.
I go down that street. I go down that street all the time. I never saw the gate.
Really?
That piece, that's kind of tucked in there, you don't really, like you
Well,
said, you
yeah,
don't really
yeah.
see it. I knew something was in there, but
If
I
it-
didn't know it was so big, actually.
If you look at, for the gate, if you look at the Land Trust website, that's or actually the Facebook page, that's the cover photo for the Facebook page, the gate.
Oh, is it?
With
I
modules,
don't do
yeah.
Facebook, so. Well, I know we go on a lot of trails that employ the techniques that you're talking about as far as putting the wooden planks over whatever they're called, over the waterways and things like that. So I think it's just a great idea. So can the Boy Scout just talk a few seconds? Tell us what he thinks of the project and what he's gonna do? Put him on the spot.
I warned you might do that.
That's okay, it's always good to.
Well, he's got a lot of badges, so he
It's
should be okay.
good to know, do some public speaking, that's good for you, that's good.
So I'm Shane Slummy. I'm in Troop 633, and the project, I'm building 50 feet of it, and for my Eagle Scout project, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Have you ever done anything like this before, or probably not, huh?
I've helped build Eagle Scout projects, but not like this.
That's okay, well, it's good to learn something
Good
new there.
experience.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
It's
you.
good
good.
that you're doing it. The
it'll-
environment's important.
And it'll be something there for generations to enjoy, so that, in our town, so it's kind of, you kind of leave a legacy there that should be there for, hopefully for a long time.
Good. Well, do we need, I don't see this as needing a public hearing.
No, I was just gonna say, that's the next thing we have to decide. I don't see one either, so we probably should get that elephant off the table. Let's just make a motion that we deem this, or you wanna go one by one and talk. It's not a huge project. I don't think we need to. It's not like a huge project. Usually we'd go through each one if it was something very significant, but I think we all kind of agree it's not, so.
Yeah, so I make a motion
Good.
that, what would the motion be, that we just move this on to the next
That
meeting?
basically, we deemed it not a
Deemed.
I make a
significant
motion that we
activity.
deem this not a significant activity.
And I'll second that.
All right, and all in
Just
favor?
in time for it.
Sorry, Ash, you missed all the fun, but.
What's your last name?
Saleme. Salemme.
Thank you.
So Eric, now that we've gotten that, really, like you said, we can accept vote to accept the
You
application.
don't even need to look to accept it, you do need to move to continue it to November
We have to
17th.
make a motion to do that, right, because we can't, other than that, we have to wait, can't do any more than
Can't act on it
that.
this evening, so we need to continue it to the 17th of November, and again, it won't be a public hearing, it will just be a public meeting as an old matter.
Okay, so I make a motion to move this to November 17th meeting.
And I'll second that too.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Good luck with the project.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Look forward to it.
Thank you. Good luck.
Again,
good
thank
luck.
you for doing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And for the record, Ashley Joyner's just joined us.
So you can do the motion to adjourn.
Well, we need to hear the Wetland Enforcement Officer's report.
I know, I'm just kidding.
So,
I do have a question for that.
next item would be number 6, the Wetland Enforcement Officer report. So if you have anything, Eric, to share?
This is day 6 for me, so I don't really have a lot to say
Okay.
so far.
It's okay.
Glad this was a relatively simple meeting to start with. I know in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be meeting with a whole bunch of different people regarding multifamily housing that people are proposing in different parts of town, so I'm guessing that's gonna be coming back to you at various points.
I don't
What-
think it came
what-
to us, it's not at Wetlands. I don't
What,
think.
which multifamily housing are
The
you referring to?
Pines are in the northern part of
Oh,
town.
the Pines, that'll be right near this,
Right, I
correct?
was just gonna say, it was right on the front
but-
of Route 22. They came
but
and
had-
gave
that-
us, right? or-
No, I don't think, they didn't come to us yet.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
never
I don't think
mind,
there's
sorry.
wetlands on there.
Sorry, I came early to a meeting, they talked about it.
And then
Right,
there's a
right.
different project, which also probably will not be coming to you, which is across from the Rose, Al Rose's place right down on the border
Oh.
of
Rose
Brantford.
Orchard.
Rose Orchard.
Oh, off 139, yes.
Medic-
139.
Recently,
Across from that, they're looking to put in 88 units of multifamily there. It should be up on a hill, so I'm not sure there's any wetlands issues there. but-
On that curve?
Yeah,
Isn't that gonna cross two town lines?
yeah, it's all gonna be north, on the North Brantford side, so.
Wow.
And
Because
then
mine is kind of an industrial area where there's a lot of
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
established, so it must be just on that hill
And
itself.
it's on the hill,
Oh, okay.
it's presently light industrial, they'd have to rezone it.
Right.
And then there's one other project which is just basically coming back that had been previously approved, it expired. Trying to remember the name of it off the top of my head there, but it's also in the southern part of town here. And that's also elderly multifamily, that's, again, to be reapproved.
I don't know if you, can I change the subject
You
on
can
it? I don't know if you know,
change-
I don't know if you know the answer.
I
but-
mean, but I'm happy to.
But the last item on the minutes, which was 261 Tucket Road,
Okay.
the way that was left was that they had to have an engineering,
Mhm.
a professional engineering review before they were released.
Mhm.
And can we get an update on that?
I'm gonna have to ask Victor on that one, honestly.
He was at that meeting, yes.
Okay.
He probably
He was.
would
So,
know.
yeah, he's not here tonight, obviously,
Right,
but,
right.
let me get a report from Victor on where that stands, and I'll bring that back in 3 weeks, okay? That's the best I can
Yeah, I
offer
think
you
he,
tonight.
I think they had to have it done by, the end of September.
We
wasn't
put
it?
our special condition in that
Yeah.
if it met an engineer's approval for what, what was done, then we would be okay with it.
Yeah, I was just
So
curious if we, cause,
if that had ever happened, yeah.
yeah, if that happened or not.
Did I read it correctly to think that you guys had decided that Victor could be the one, the engineer?
No, he couldn't,
No,
he said
he
he
couldn't
wouldn't.
do it.
He said he couldn't do it. Yeah, remember,
Oh, okay.
remember
He
we,
didn't
I
want
asked.
No, I wasn't there.
Yeah, he
that's-
didn't,
oh, I'm sorry,
he didn't
yes,
want the
yes,
town to
Okay,
be
I just read
liable.
it.
I actually
He
asked
didn't
him.
want the town to be liable.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You know, the way those things usually work is, he will review someone else's work, but he doesn't wanna have to put his stamp on it.
That's how I thought it should be.
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, no.
Because I asked him that, what would be the best way, and he
Yeah.
said he didn't, which
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. We all agreed, it's
Yeah,
definitely.
if you wouldn't mind, and then the other thing that I wanted to bring up, we as a committee, or commission, revised our, what's it called, our regulations.
Your bylaws are
And
great.
and that included the fee structures, and there was some confusion on the fee structures the last meeting. I just wanna make sure that you're familiar with the fee structures, and Lynn's familiar with the fee structures, so there's no misunderstanding.
And the updated regulation.
Yeah, because,
Okay, I will-
because with the same property that we're talking about on Tucket Road there was an issue that, they did not pay the proper fees.
But-
And we wanna make sure that doesn't happen going forward.
But wouldn't that be grandfathered into the old fee structure?
They never
No.
applied for an application, so
Until after.
there's no
It
grandfathering.
would've
It could have been, and they'd done that
Okay.
when we asked them to, but
Yeah.
they didn't, so
There's
unfortunately.
no grandfathering.
So I just wanna
And the
make
applicant was
sure.
aware of it, he knew he was
Yes,
gonna have to
and
give
he,
a
he
little more.
was, he
He
said, because
agreed.
there's a
It's in the
balance
min-
of $375.
It's in the minutes, he agreed
Right,
to
right.
it. But I just wanna make sure that you're familiar with all the changes we made, because we made significant changes.
Mhm.
Okay.
And huge changes on the fee structure,
Oh.
especially for those that do
Non-compliance.
work and then come after the fact. There's some
Okay.
penalties worked into it.
Honestly, this is all, I should have known before tonight, but I will
No,
make
I
sure.
No, we
no,
understand.
no,
Okay, we just
we're
want-
not, we're not criticizing.
Oh, no, we just wanted to get,
No, we
I
just want
just
you to
wanna
know.
make sure you know.
just because
that's
this
all.
came up in the last meeting, so we didn't want you to get blindsided, we just want to make
No,
sure. you-
in fact, one of the things that they were supposed to do tonight and did not, the land trust was supposed to ask you to waive the fees for their application, which they forgot to do.
Oh.
So, when they come back next time, I will make sure
Yeah.
that.
Can we do it next, I was gonna say, otherwise it's. all
Yeah,
right.
we're fine with
Okay,
that.
that'd
I
be
think we're all
fine, we've done
fine.
that in the
It's
past.
past that agenda item, it's not on the record, sequentially,
Well,
so
if
when they
they-
come back, just make sure we get that on the record.
Absolutely, we've done that before.
Or they could pay the fees and we could give it back as a donation.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything in our structure to do that.
All right. I want it.
We gotta be careful, we have a tax person here, so.
That's right.
Uh, where's the-
Okay, I move to adjourn.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
wait a minute. Since we're under enforcement right now, there is an issue that we had addressed a few years ago on Route 22 on Forest Road. There's a pond as you're going towards Northford, there's a pond on the
It's all
right.
lit up now.
Yeah. This pond, they went in and put in sprinklers. Now there's 2 sprinklers in there. And they went in, they put the sprinklers and I mean, in my opinion, it's a little bit better than before, but the problem with that whole piece and what I had tried to make them understand when we first addressed this, it has to be at least 3 years now. I would think.
Oh, yeah, at least.
Easily,
Yeah.
3-4 years ago. This pond, it's a man-made pond, but it's fed by a spring up the hill that's piped through their yard, and it empties into the south side of the pond,
Okay.
right next to the exit of the
Discharge.
pond, which is also on the
South
south
side.
side of the pond. I mean, there's probably no more than 10 or 15 feet between where the water comes in and where the water goes out. But the majority of the pond is going to the north, and it's all stagnant, and algae and.
That's why the sprinklers are the fountains.
But it's just pushing everything a little bit away from, so it just, I mean, they've done all this work without permits. He refused to take permits before, and refused to take any of our recommendations. And at this point, it's my feeling that, I mean, for health reasons alone, if that pipe that brings the spring water into the pond were simply extended underwater to the other end of the pond, then the water is going to go in at the north end and it's going to run it out at the south end, and it's going to be, you know, become a very
Healthy
good quality
pond.
body of
It
water.
would cleanse the algae and keep it moving.
Because the spring going into it is coming out of Tilcon from the quarry above, not from the quarry, but coming across from Lake Ballard. And it's drinkable. It's perfectly clear, beautiful water.
It's like an artesian well almost.
So all as he really needs to do is probably 8 sections, 80 feet of pipe to just add on to what's already there. It's PVC. Add it on, lay it underwater to the other end, and that would solve all the problems.
You could probably run a rail on the side of the bank without even excavating.
He
Just-
could,
and
or-
you know what I'm saying, to make it, I'm
Except
just,
Yeah.
that'll freeze too.
No, but he
True,
could
true.
just lay it
It's
in the
true.
water. And, I mean, I would like to go after him for the violations committed in doing excavations and putting in these sprinklers
And he
into.
constantly clears vegetation, which he's not supposed to do too.
Yeah, but if he were to, I personally could overlook these violations if he would make the pond healthy. And it would honestly take, I don't know how much a 10-foot length of pipe is. I think they're probably, that size pipe is probably $12 a pipe, a length or something. I mean, the whole project should cost him no more than under $150.
Okay.
That's my suggestion.
Is there an address or an owner I should be looking for on this, or?
We have it on record. I don't know the number exactly.
Yeah, I'll go back and look. I just
maybe
didn't
we'll
know.
go back and look for you.
It's before you get to the police station, it's just before you get to where it curves into the long straightaway by the municipal, by the police and public
You
works.
can't miss the pond, it's
You
right on
can't
the
miss
road,
it.
it's
And
on
it's
the
all lit
right.
up now.
Yeah, if you're heading towards Northford, it's on the right, just before the, if, you know, but if we can find the address, I'll shoot you an email,
Okay,
but I'm
that'd be
trying to
great.
remember.
I know the kids' names, I can't remember their last name though.
Yeah.
Speaking of address, your email would be the same as.
It's always town planner.
Town
at,
planner,
so-
right, okay.
Oh, okay.
And the telephone
Yeah.
numbers are the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same telephone number, same email, same everything.
Yeah. So that's just how I feel about it.
That's fine. I agree.
I think we all agreed at the time that would have been the best thing, had he done it right off the bat, I think.
He just dug his heels in when we dealt with him and just didn't want to listen to
Well,
anything.
he didn't want to.
And he didn't want to spend a penny on
No.
it.
No, it's kind of like the other
Right.
fellow with.
Well, he also got in trouble when it was reported that he was going off his property into
Yes.
private other
Doing
property.
some,
Yeah.
things that, like
Yeah.
harvesting trees, cutting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 We're
All
gonna
right.
give Eric a chance to, you've only been here how many weeks? 1, 2?
This is my second week.
Okay.
You say this is my 8th day, so
You don't have this down yet?
I'm still working on it. I haven't
That's
realized
all right.
it.
Wait till he
Yeah.
goes to try to find the old tags.
Oh, yeah.
And last question, did you bring us our boots?
Yes.
Your boots.
Boots.
Yeah, talk to Carrie about that.
Every year we've asked for boots.
Carrie said
It's a
that,
For
running
field
joke.
walks.
It's, no. And it goes back to like many, many years, you know.
And
for
if you
all
don't
the-
bring boots, you have to bring cookies.
Cookies I can bring. I'll make it. And I have boots for myself in the car, but boots for each of you, I didn't bring.
It's just a running joke.
It's a running
you know.
joke that we need to add it to the budget.
So we you know, we just want to make you feel home, so, you know, we don't want to spare you, we don't want to spare you anything.
agreed.
So, cookies I can manage.
Okay, I move that we adjourn.
I
Oh,
second.
okay.
Second?
Yep, that'll go right ahead.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, meeting adjourned.
Hey, we made it out with
Wow,
no
look at
taxes.
that. Look at that, under a half hour.
Wow, this is a record.
You guys must have started